It was a resounding 3-0 win for the Pittsburgh Penguins on Tuesday here at PPG Paints Arena. I am Dan Kingerski on the National Hockey Now and the Pittsburgh Hockey Now YouTube channel. We're doing it outside tonight because the monster trucks are on their way to Pittsburgh and they are ripping apart the inside of the arena as we speak. So we're not doing a long video tonight. It's cold out here. I'm not sure why it's so much colder than the temperature, but do me a favor, like and subscribe. We do these after every game, and we'll keep doing those. A little bit of a Q&A tonight as well, but I want to get to some highlights of the Penguins game. Patient, poised, largely structured. They were a little sloppy for several minutes in the third period. In fact, it cost them a goal that was, in fact, overturned on an offsides call. Tristan Jarry picks up his sixth shutout, league-leading sixth shutout of the season. Jarry earned every bit of that shutout. I thought he was really good because now let's get to the critiques of the Penguins game. They were patient, poised. They added layers to the neutral zone. They made Winnipeg skate 200 feet for most of their chances. However, kind of the same bugaboos, the same problems again haunting the Penguins as Erik Karlsson and Ryan Graves allowed some great chances in front of the net. Karlsson wandering away, Graves kind of not coming to it was just, there were puck management issues as well. P.O. Joseph kind of, had some real shaky moments with the biscuit on Tuesday. Also, Evgeny Malkin's line just couldn't seem to connect with each other. They really, I thought, struggled. They were underwater in all of their analytics, scoring chances, shots, zone time, the eye test. It all was sideways for Evgeny Malkin, Drew O'Connor, and the newly returned Riley Smith. You wanted to see them generate a little bit more. You wanted to see them maybe have a little bit of renewed fire with Smith on that wing. But the reality was they were probably the Penguins' worst line up until Noel Acciari was taken out by a dirty hit from Brendan Dillon. Let's talk about that dirty hit because Dillon is one of those guys, very much in the same vein as Jacob Trouba, always just short of the line of being suspended. Always some questionable hits and stuff you don't like, but never quite rising to suspension. Don't forget January 24th, 2022, when Dillon broke Teddy Bluger's jaw here at PPG Paints Arena with a hit that surprised a lot of us that he wasn't suspended. If Dillon doesn't get at least 3 games for the shoulder chicken wing directly to the head of Noel Acciari, entirely avoidable. That was the big thing. Dillon had him lined up coming. Acciari was lunging for quite a ways, reaching forward to the puck. It wasn't a bang-bang play that was unfortunate. It was there. It was there to be avoided. Dillon gets the match penalty, which means an automatic league review. I thought that was a defining moment for the game, but also a bit of a turning point for the Penguins because they could have just abandoned all hockey and went for the 5-alarm fire. They could have went blood for blood. That's not really the Penguins' style, but against a Western Conference opponent in which, in which you don't worry about giving up points as much, maybe you throw the gloves and go crazy. The Penguins instead really focused. Talked to Brian Rust about it. Talked to a couple of guys, and there was a conversation. Let's score on this power play and stick it to them. Penguins score 2. In fact, both power play units scored a goal. So there's your kind of your highlights. Let's get to the Q&A here quickly. Paul McDaniel says, nice to see the power play make a positive difference for once. Will splitting the stars work? I would love to tell you, absolutely, guaranteed, 100%, but we have no idea. That 5-minute major in which the Penguins scored a pair didn't get off to a very good start. It was a little bit sputtering, and then all of a sudden, bang, Jeff Carter is there in front, turning goal. And then late in the major penalty, again, not great pressure generated by the Penguins' power play units. Bang. Jake Gensel just makes a sneaky, just almost a ridiculously good pass through the crease to Brian Rust. And, there he is to tap it in. Now, I'm going to give kind of the power play a pass. I didn't grade it in the report card, largely because it was 10 days since the boys were together on the ice in a game situation. They only had one opportunity, that 5-minute major on Tuesday. So I don't know if we know much more today than we did 2 weeks ago, but it was certainly, that's a confidence builder. That's a team builder. That's a come-together moment when you get taken out with a dirty hit and you bury the other guy, or guys in this case, with a couple of goals. That's one of those things that, they will be talking about tonight. From Logan Cranky, can they find consistency? I don't know if you read my story, Logan, from Tuesday about noon I published. And I went straight to the heart of the matter with some of the blunt guys in the locker room. Lars Eller opened the can for me on Sunday when he said, it's about emotional engagement. We have to bring it. We have to be, that team. We know X's and O's. We have no questions about the X's and O's. Now we have to bring it. So I went over and I asked Brian Rust, and I asked a couple of guys who kind of spoke maybe off the record, and it really does come down to, no one said we haven't been emotionally engaged, but everyone talked about the need to be emotionally engaged. I think it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I think it was a tacit admission that they haven't been always present. They haven't brought their best, and they far too often, they haven't, they've had a heart problem. So we'll see in the second segment here, that really is what it comes down to, Logan. If the Penguins decide they want to be a good team, they are. If they think that they are a good team, it's, what we've seen is they don't have that gear when they assume they're good to be good. They have to really want it. If that makes any sense. Arrogance would be the wrong word. Assumption maybe is a better word. When they assume they're good, they're bad. But when they really bring the hunger, they can beat anybody. Look, Winnipeg is Stanley Cup favorite, Stanley Cup contender, one of those 4 teams, and the Penguins just shut them out here. That game Saturday up in Winnipeg might be a little bit fun, huh? A little bit spicy. Adam said it felt good but scary. Jari had to be lights out. Yes, Jari had to be lights out. However, all teams have to go through that. All teams, this is the NHL. Every team pushes. Every team is going to get scoring chances. Gone are the days when these defensive shells could just smother an opponent, deflate the puck. All of that stuff is gone. We really are living in a day that more closely resembles the salad days of the 1980s than at any point. So, if Jari has to be lights out, yeah, so does the other guy. And Jari outplayed Connor Hellebuck. So don't think of that as scary. Now, what you should think of as scary is the same people making the same mistakes. Evgeny Malkin, Ryan Graves, Erik Karlsson. Those are the things that I circled. I wanted to see a lot more from P.O. Joseph, and I think we should probably talk a bit more in the coming days about P.O. because I make no bones about it. I root for the kid. He's been kind of done dirty at points in his career. Not by the Penguins. In juniors, some bad coaching, and then overcorrecting the bad. He didn't get that stud year that he should have had, and I think he's always lacked a little bit of that confidence as a result. And maybe we'll have to dive in to that a bit more. Let's see here. Penguins, thoughts on Jesse Puljujärvi. I liked him. I thought, he was good on the forecheck several times. He, Lars Eller, and Raquel, they did a good job. I still want to see Puljujärvi get more inside the dots, play more at the net, play, a little more of a dangerous game. He did well on the wall. He did well on the forecheck in the defensive zone. There were no issues. So take that for what it's worth. If that's as good as Puljujärvi gets, let's just say that was the top line. I don't think it is, but let's just say it is. He's still an asset, although it could be an improved upon asset. So I guess I'm still hedging my bet on Puljujärvi. But it was a solid game. And when you contribute to a goal, it's a good game. From ice-cold Pittsburgh. It's actually going to be warmer in Winnipeg than Pittsburgh. And I leave for Minneapolis on Thursday morning. We have the game Friday, and then the back-to-back driving all night to Winnipeg. So do me a favor. If you're on Pittsburgh Hockey Now, subscribe to PHN Plus. Like and subscribe this video. And subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. My friends, we will talk again soon. Until then, have fun.